So, our tuned in material this week is focused around faith and doubt. Now, we live in a culture here in the UK where it's increasingly about what's right for you. It's about living your truth, living your best life, etc. And as a result of that, it can be really easy to reach a point of feeling doubt in God and just slipping out of that place of faith. And so we're going to dig into this a little bit deeper. And today, Martin Saunders from Youthscape is here to shed some light on this topic. So thank you so much for joining us today, Martin.
Hey,
Um,
nice to see you.
and yeah, and so maybe you can start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and your role at Youthscape.
I have a crazy job title, which is Director of Innovation at Youthscape, which makes me sound like I work for Google, or I'm really self-important. I don't know which it is, but I head up new things, the development of new stuff at Youthscape, which is a national youth work charity. One of the things that probably the biggest thing that I'm heading up at the moment is a new 5-day event, kind of festival type thing for young people, which launches next year, which is called Satellites.
That sounds so awesome. Yeah, be interesting to see more about that at various points on your website. So, going back to our topic, so many people struggle with feeling distant at various points in their lives. So, is this something that you can relate to in your
Yeah,
relationship with God?
absolutely. And I wish people had said that sort of thing earlier in my life. Like I remember seeing people, who were youth leaders or people standing on stages or on videos, and they just seemed to have everything all sorted out. And it felt to me like from where I was standing, like these people would never struggle with their faith. Whereas I'd be honest, I've been working, leading youth work organizations and youth groups for like more than 20 years. And it's something that I come back to. I sometimes have those moments of doubt, particularly in the middle of the night, or when things aren't going well. I sometimes have those big questions. I totally relate. I think we need to be more honest about it.
Yeah, I really appreciate your honesty there because it is very easy to see people who are on stage or who are leading things and just think, oh yeah, they've definitely got it all together. They can't ever feel distant from God. So yeah, I appreciate your honesty there. So how do we get through those times and those seasons of feeling more distant?
Yeah, well, I've got a couple of thoughts. I guess one thought is we need to understand that God isn't just kind of interested in one little segment of our life called church. I think so often we keep God in a little box and we just bring him out for youth group or when we're reading the Bible or or when we take time to pray or when we go to church and we don't think he's got anything to say to anything else in our lives even when those things are going well. We don't think naturally that he's interested in our sports teams or the band we're in or, I don't know, the video game we like to play or that maths lesson we hate or whatever it is. We don't think, oh, God's interested in that stuff, even in the good times. So when we find stuff hard in all the areas of our life, it's not surprising that we can't find God in any of those places because we've never invited him into any of those places. So I think the trick maybe is to understand right now, maybe when things aren't too tough, that God is interested in every area of our lives. He wants to be right at the center of everything that we do so that we can experience all those things through a relationship with him. God is interested in our maths lesson. He's present in our maths lesson. He invented maths. Same goes for football. And even maybe I don't know if God invented Fortnite, but he definitely invented the people who made Fortnite. So I think one of the ways to get through that is just to understand God is always present in everything, in the good times and the bad.
That's really good advice. We've kind of like touched on this already, but is there any kind of like really specific things that you would suggest to any of our young people watching who feel like they're going through a season of feeling like they're far away from God?
Yeah, I'm going to plug my book now. So I've written a book for young people called We Are Satellites. It's just come out, and you can find it on all the kind of usual retailers and things. And there's a section at the start of that that talks about how I kind of understand my own faith and where my own faith is based. And I think my big points, you don't need to read the book now, is this. If your faith is just rooted in one thing, like I had an experience once, or my family told me it was true, or I don't know, I read the Bible as a kid, and it's always struck with me. If you have one kind of root for your faith, then that's not going to be very strong. But actually, there are loads of reasons to be confident about our faith. There's loads of reasons to believe in God. The stories of other people, the experience of praying, understanding that there are people who are way more intelligent than we are, than I am, who really clever people who are at the top of like massive scientific disciplines who've chosen to put their faith in Jesus. There's all these different things that we can base our faith on, including the authority of the Bible and all the other things that I said before. When we understand that we can have faith for lots and lots of different reasons, then when one of those things gets challenged, like we don't see a prayer answered, or somebody who we put a lot of trust in messes up, it doesn't shake the whole picture, because all our faith isn't based on that one thing. So my advice would be just understand the full range of reasons why we can be confident in faith in Jesus. And then when one gets shaken, the whole lot doesn't fall down.
Amazing. That's really great advice. I wish I'd known that as a young person, actually, thinking about it. So we've come into the end of our discussion. Thank you so much for everyone who's watching. And if you're in a place of doubt, or if you're feeling distant, I think the thing to pick up here is that there is hope. There is an end to that season. But they do require perseverance. So please let us know if you'd like us to pray for you, or if you want any further advice on how to get through those times. But in the meantime, thank you so much for your wisdom, Martin. I look forward to reading your book. And yeah, for those who are watching, we'll see you all in our next video. Take care.